It's no secret, in any gacha games, characters are one of the biggest designing factors in whether it's worth playing or not. But when it comes down to it, the bar for a character's success isn't as simple as just existing. There are layers. How good the design look, how much raw power they bring to the table, how big of a bag it generates when it comes to revenue, and even how much hype they generates across the community. All of these variables become players' threshold that determine whether a character is seen as a win or a flop, which oftentimes sparks endless discussion or rather debates among players. But with the release of version 2.6, Wuthering Waves seems to have cracked this challenge by introducing
Augusta.
A character that essentially proved Kuro Games isn't here to participate, but to dominate. They're doing it not through the brute force design, but through the sheer quality of execution. Augusta is arguably one of the most carefully engineered characters Kuro has brought to the table. Rather than dumping her early lore into the main story quest, she became the first to receive an Overture quest, a new layer of content design that blends narrative delivery with the character marketing. This isn't just a filler to keep players occupied between patches, it's a strategic marketing rollout that's not only builds anticipation but also positions the character as a centerpiece of the next update. This serious consideration was also taken to her Resonator showcase, as Kuro went as far as creating 3 distinct designs for Augusta, each serving as a visual milestone to illustrate how her story developed and ultimately culminates in her becoming the Emperor of Septimon. This carefully crafted design philosophy is also a smart way to encourage players to invest more, since it delivers high perceived value within the gacha framework. But a strong backstory alone isn't enough, and thankfully Kuro carried the same philosophy into her gameplay. As the only Electro character released in nearly a year, Augusta instantly became the new meta darling. Not just because she is a fresh content or her super liberation that can pull the world ability, but because of her unique mechanics and the overall value she brought to the team composition. While Augusta excels as a strong single DPS, her unique kit pushes the gameplay into more versatile territory. Her outro grants a 15% damage boost to the next character, which open up possibilities of running double DPS team for massive total damage output. For example, pairing her with Prolova creates a devastating synergy, as Prolova's outro also grants an additional 25% heavy damage boost, stacking perfectly with Augusta's utility. From the surface, she looks like a simple character to play with. Smash your left click button, build the forte, fill these 2 blades and unleash the liberation. But when you take a closer look, it might get your brain twisted a little bit. Why she got a new button out of nowhere, why her skill changed, how to get these 2 blades glowing, why the liberation just... and what the fuck all this long explanation is all about. But still, even though Augusta can put out solid damage on her own, her gameplay flows clearly revolves around her teammates, as she comes with 3 different fortes: the prowess, the ascendancy, and the majesty, which cause her to thrive most when she's supported by quick mechanics that ties directly into this complex system. For example, her second inherent skill grants 1 stack of majesty if she has none after being switched out for 4 seconds, or the buff that allows the next character to generate a majesty stack for her via outro skill, or even her intro that instantly fills 100% of the prowess bar. All these steps are the core element to pull her rotation as quick as possible. This mechanics creates a constant rhythm of swapping, stacking, and timing that makes her performance shines in the hand of skilled players. But before we talk more about this, if you made it this far and you've been enjoying my content lately, or you just stumbled across this one, please consider subscribing, because why not? It really helps and motivates me to make more content like this, and smash that like button if you are vibing with it. And now, I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. For some people, this reliance on synergy might feel like a deal breaker, as it's not always appealing to invest in a character who depends on others to fully unlock their strength. But on the flip side, Augusta embodies the very definition of a high skill ceiling design. A character who rewards precision, strategy, and mastery with unmatched damage potential. Kuro clearly designed her to stand the test of time. It's easy enough to pick up, but difficult to truly master unless you fully understand the depth of her kit. And also, unlike some other characters that need their tailor-made weapon for the maximal performance, as it's usually have around 10% or more power difference with their second best weapon, Augusta can take Jian's weapon as secondary choice with only 8% difference in total. I mean, it's not that special considering they both are having similar playstyle, but in fact the option is a great way to go. And as for the team comp itself, Augusta doesn't really demand a freshly released support. I mean, she can fit with them, but unlike Zani or Prolova, who are often considered expensive to build around since Zani needs Phoebe and Prolova needs Cantarella, Augusta's team works surprisingly well with just Mortefi and Verena. At this point, the question isn't even about is she worth pulling or not. It's more to are you capable enough to handle her complex gameplay, or else you will get labeled with skill issue if you claim Augusta doesn't deal damage to the community. And the results speak for themselves. Even with a free-to-play friendly team comp, Augusta set a huge milestone for the game. Her banners pump up Wuthering Waves sales to a new height. According to WUA's tracker global statistics, Augusta's banners surpassed 1.8 million pulls on day 1. On the other hand, Augusta's banner pushed Wuthering Waves into the top 4 best-selling games on Steam and also became the top-selling free-to-play games on Epic Store, which clearly prove Augusta is a success in terms of new character launch. But at the end of the day, Augusta isn't just another shiny gacha drop. She proves that Kuro knows how to build a character that delivers on every front. Gameplay depth, narrative presence, and yes, the revenue impact. She plays less like a straightforward DPS and more like a puzzle piece, testing how well you can swap, stack, and strategize under pressure. Her synergy reliance wasn't a flaw, it was deliberately designed to make the whole team stronger, not just herself. And what's interesting, the high skill ceiling trend Wuthering Waves lean into has become one of the biggest selling points, because clearly over 1.8 million pulls in a single day shows how people don't mind challenge when the reward is dissatisfying. In short, Augusta set a new bar, not just for how resonators should be designed, but for how a single banner can rewrite the entire conversation around the game's future. But again, people have their own perspectives. Some people might say Augusta is just a regular character just like the older one or like the other character, but I would say it again. I think Augusta is a character that really shows how Kuro game has improved so far, especially in 2.6 in terms of character development and another way to control power creep to make sure you cannot abuse a character just by pairing it with other characters that just fit in their slot. So I think those are everything from me about Augusta, but what do you think? Let us know in the comment section. So, hope this video was interesting to you. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.